Hey guys, welcome to A Million Things About Japan. I'm Machiko. On each episode, I would like to introduce things related to Japan. It can be Japanese food, culture, customs, and more. But something unique, something really Japanese, and hopefully something new to you. So please subscribe to the channel and find out what Japan has to offer. よろしくお願いします。Today, I want to talk about Japanese names. Not family or last names, but given names, which are first names. Living in the United States gave me a different perspective about my own name. Japanese names are probably not familiar to you, so you may have some questions how Japanese names work. I hope I can clarify some of that and give you a general idea about Japanese names. First, I want to start with my name, Machiko. I will explain in a minute, but the name Machiko is a very common Japanese name. It's a typical girl's name in Japan. That's why I was not a big fan of my name. I was a tomboy growing up and enjoyed sports. Also, I have an older brother, and I tried to copy what he did. Sometimes people thought I was a boy when I was a kid, so I wished that I did not have such a girly-sounding name. In addition, my Chinese zodiac sign is a rabbit, and my horoscope sign is Virgo. Don't you think it sounds too girly? It does to me. When I moved to the United States, people often said, "I love your name," because my name Machiko was very unusual to them. It was inconvenient because my name was difficult to read for most people, but I started to like my name for the first time in my life. Many times I was called Machiko or even Mashiko. For English speakers, that was their best guess. Close enough, so I didn't correct them unless they asked. I thought it was not such a big deal. However, when introducing myself, I knew if I said my name is Machiko, it would be easier for them to remember, but I didn't want to mispronounce my name, so I always said Machiko. I needed to try at least once. When I started working at Karen's Bakery in Folsom, all of my coworkers naturally started calling me Machiko. I tried not to be bothered, but there was one time I mentioned it very casually to Karen, my boss. The next day, I noticed that my coworkers smiled at me more than usual and said my name a lot. Good morning, Machiko. Hey, Machiko, ba 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 ba. I heard that after I left, Karen went to her entire staff one by one to correct Machiko to Machiko for me. Thank you, Karen. When I was working at the bakery at Whole Foods, one of my coworkers, Adam, always teased me by yelling, "Machiko!" very loudly. Then we always laughed. I kinda miss that, Adam. Do you know any Japanese girls? If so, you may know that names ending with ko are very common Japanese girls' names. Machiko, Ayako, Akiko, etc. The Japanese word ko means child in English. Names ending with ko started during the Heian period. It is said that this originated when Emperor Saga gave his daughters names ending with ko. These names with ko became common names for noble women, and over time, they were used for ordinary women as well. Therefore, names ending with ko gave a feminine and slightly old-fashioned impression. The Empress Emerita Michiko was born as a commoner. She later met Crown Prince Akihito on a tennis court, and they fell in love and married in 1959. She was very beautiful, and a lot of people admired her and her story of becoming a fairy tale princess. It is thought that this inspired people to add ko when naming their daughters. I was born in the 70s, and thus many of my classmates had names ending with ko, such as Aiko, Yoko, Keiko, Noriko, Eriko. But I think shorter names that don't end with ko are cooler, such as Miki or Mai. What does your name mean? I was often asked this question in the United States. I think because Japanese names are usually written in kanji characters, some people may believe each name has a meaning. This is true, but not all names are like this. Let's examine my name again. The most common kanji for Machiko is written as true for ma, no for chi, and child for ko. Written this way, the name Machiko means a child to know the truth or something. But my name is not written in this common way. The kanji character for ma is written as the word for hemp. The character for chi means 1,000, and ko means child. That doesn't seem to have any special meaning, right? When I was born, my dad went to the shrine for some name options and then discussed them with my mom. They narrowed it down to 2 choices, which were Machiko or Etsuko. Then asked my brother which one he liked. He said, I want my baby sister to be Machiko-chan. That's how I got my name. Of course, some names do have specific meanings. Ones that are easy to explain are Aiko, which means love and child, Keiko, which means blessing and child. Another common way people are named is to use one kanji character from a parent or grandparent. For example, my Japanese-American husband has a Japanese middle name. He is the first child and his Japanese name is Kazuya. He got Kazu, which means first child, from his mother's name, Kazuko, and Ya from his father's name, Tetsuya. My dad and my brother also have a shared kanji character. There are other things you can see from Japanese names. If a boy is named Ichiro or Taro, he is most likely the first son, and the following sons are probably Jiro and Saburo. Ichi for Ichiro means 1, Ji for Jiro means 2, and Sabu for Saburo means 3. Also, if a baby girl was born in spring, her name can be Haruko, which means spring and child, or could be Sakura for cherry blossoms that bloom in spring. If a girl is named Satsuki or Mei, spelled M-E-I, I would assume she was born in the month of May. Satsuki is the traditional Japanese way to say May, and May comes from the English word May. If you have seen My Neighbor Totoro, do you remember the 2 sisters' names? They are Satsuki and Mei. Interesting, right? My mom has 2 sisters, and she is the youngest one. Before she married my dad, he asked about her sisters' names. Her oldest sister's name is Michio, and her next sister's name is Emiko. My mom's name is Harue. She told me when my dad heard that story, he started laughing. My grandparents named their first girl Michio. The kanji character for Mi means beautiful, and their second girl also has the same kanji character. This kanji for beautiful is very popular for a girl's name. When they had their 3rd baby girl in the spring, they named my mom Harue, which is written as spring and branch. Maybe my dad thought, it's a good name for a child born in spring, but what happened to beautiful? That's why he started laughing. How rude. Other than the meanings, another important thing Japanese parents may consider when naming their baby is how many kanji strokes the name will have. Each kanji character has a certain number of strokes, and it is believed that having a certain number of strokes can be auspicious and have a positive impact on their child's future. There are many different ideas on stroke counts, so it's important to choose a source of information you can trust. Nowadays, the trend for Japanese names has changed. Like I said, names ending with ko is not so common anymore. Also, when I hear the name Tsuru, which means Japanese crane, or Ume, which means plum blossom, I imagine older ladies. I was curious about what names are popular recently. It seems that for a boy's name, Ren, Aoi, Nagi, Haruto, or Riku are popular. For a girl's name, I found Rin, Himari, Hinata, Midori, Tsumugi, or Emma. And as far as kanji characters are concerned, names with only one kanji character seem very popular too. They all look and sound very modern and cool to me. However, school teachers may have difficulty figuring out the right reading for today's names, unlike during my generation. These modern names are nice, but there are some parents who may have gone a bit too far. These types of names are called kira names. I translate it as sparkly names. For example, the reading the parents want for the kanji characters are difficult to read and very unusual. They also use kanji readings that are significantly different from the typical ones. Some may also use foreign words or names that are unfamiliar to Japanese people. Even if a name is chosen with the parents' wishes in mind, it can sometimes cause problems for the child socially. Therefore, the revised Family Register Act came into effect in May 2025. It says that certain regulations are required, including the intended reading to be recorded on the family registry. Then, a judge will have to determine whether there is a connection between the kanji characters and the reading. Here, I will give you some kira name examples I saw. The kanji for bubble would be read as awa, and the kanji for princess would be hime. But the parents wanted this name to be read as Ariel or Ariel. The kanji for knight is usually read kishi in Japanese, but the parents wanted it to be read as naito, which sounds like English for night. This one is the weirdest. The kanji for yellow, which is read ki, and the kanji for bear is read kuma. Can you guess what they wanted as the name? They wanted to be read Pooh, as in Winnie the Pooh. What? No way! Due to the law change, I think those kira names will go away, but English-sounding names will possibly increase. English names such as Tyler, Joe, Noah, Lisa, Mari, Hannah can be Japanese names with familiar kanji characters. Those are easy to pronounce, so they will not have a problem like Machiko. What do you think? Did you learn something new about Japanese names? Honestly, I'm not very good at remembering or pronouncing unfamiliar names either. So if you give me a shortened name or a nickname, it will help me a lot. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. I also have an Instagram account for A Million Things About Japan. You can find the link in the description. Do you have any Japanese friends or co-workers? Maybe you can ask if their name have some meaning or not. And please let me know how it goes. Alright then, stay tuned for more episodes. またね。